Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series of Python programming, understanding Python programming. Hi, my name is Binayak Parashar. I am an assistant professor working in AKGEC Engineering College in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So this lecture series will be completely based on your AKTU syllabus and mainly concerning all the important topics that is being covered in every engineering colleges right now. So we will try to look into the important topics. We will try to bring out some of the important key features, and we will also try to check it out how Python programming has evolved out into the most programmable language right now. So let us go with today's lecture. So today's lecture I will be dealing with only the introduction to Python programming and some of the basic concepts. Okay, so let us go with this. Okay, basically before starting off with any kind of lecture, we need to get back to some of the famous quotes that boost up our confidence, of our knowledge, up of our going with the subject. Okay, so I have brought a famous quote for you guys. That is nothing but this is given by the developer itself, the founder itself. His name is Guido van Rossum. Okay, so what he thought of, he has given a statement that the joy of coding Python should be in short, okay, concise, correct, readable classes that express a lot of action in a small account of a clear code, not in reams of trivial code that bores the reader to death. So that's a very good sense, because I will just mark on some of the important points why they have told that this is the reader has given a famous quote that it should be a concise, it should be readable classes, correct, it should not trivial code that bores the reader to death. So this kind of things should not happen, and that is what is happening with Python programming, correct. So this is what I thought of sharing with you all before starting off with the session. Okay, now let us go with the topic. So basically I have, before starting off with any kind of languages, any kind of topic, we should be aware of the history of that, right? So actually Python programming was the foundation was given in the year 1980s, it almost 30 years back. Okay, so it was given, the implementation generally it gradually started from 1980s, but the foundation of bringing into the concept of directly readable code or human understandable code, not complex code, that was being introduced in the year 1980. But the development generally started in the year 1989 by, and this the founder of the Python language was Guido van Rossum. He was in the year 1989 he started off with the development, and also you can see at CWI in Netherlands he has started off with the implementation. Okay, next in February 1991, this is also an important year for Guido van Rossum. What he did, he did the publications of the particular code. He labeled that particular code as the version as 0.9.0. So this is an important one, because right now we are having version of 3.8, maybe 3.9. okay, but at that moment in 1991 he actually claimed the code and he defined that version as 0.9.0. okay, so then soon in 1994, I think so, yeah, in 1994 the Python 1.0 was released with some kind of important functions. That's what I do, some kind of important features. One is your lambda, one is your map, one is your filter, one is your reduce. I think it's clear. So this means we have to be it should be clear and precise at what these functions are generally doing. Now suppose I am defining a function. I have a function right now. I'm assuming that you guys are well aware with the other languages as well. Okay, suppose I am defining a function. Okay, I am defining a function, suppose. Okay, and this function is having a body inside it, right? This function is having a body inside it. This we already know it, right? Function is having a body inside it. But my question to you all is that while defining a function, I am assuming that you know the concept of function. We generally define that function, we generally pass the parameters into that function, and then we define the body, and that body can be a bigger one, and then finally we call the function wherever we need it. but these kind of scenarios will take almost a good amount of space, okay, and that space has been optimized and put into a single line code which is known as your lambda function. See, if we query ourselves, then what we will see that this lambda function has reduces the code, has optimized the code, has make us understand the code very easily, okay. So that kind of features has been like Guido von Rossum has tried to implement with Python programming, and that is the beautiful nature of Python programming, okay. So thereafter we can go into Python 2.0, which added some kind of features like list comprehensions. These are the terms that you just keep in mind right now, we'll be discussing soon. Garbage collection systems, okay, this is also an important concept. So like year wise he started off with all these kind of features, so that brings up or boost up the language or make it like user friendly, okay. So that's why right now I will also let you know what survey I have brought for you guys, okay, that I also let you know, okay. But this is the main concept about the Python programming. Now we will also look into upcoming lecture how ABC language is being used, how modular 3, based on which these are the, like you can say like the base of this, okay. So Python ABC programming language is said to be the predecessor of Python language, okay. And some of the other I will let you know, because I have kept certain topics to be shown after some 1 or 2 classes, okay. There I will discuss about ABC programming language and why it is named as predecessor of Python language, okay. So let us go with the next slide. Okay, so let us go with the next slide. Next slide I brought for you introduction to Python programming, where we will try to check it out what are the features of it, okay. Right now we have understood that the history in 1980 it was evolved, in 1991 1994 the final 1.0 version was given with a good number of features, right. So now we will try to check it out some of the important features why we are studying Python programming, okay. Number one, as I've already told you, some or the other this is considered to be the best programming language. Why? Some or the other for the developer it will be an easy process to learn, easy language to learn. So that means the first point that I can give it to you is that, sorry, I'm again mistaking this, I'm taking the pen, okay, right now. So the first point will be easy to learn and use. This is a very important point, right? Because if I am a developer and I am not having that much of like knowledge about C language or Java or object oriented concept, but I'm a diehard fan of like doing some code. I have a logic with me, but I am not getting the exact language where I can implement my code. So if you can get a platform where you will be able to get, or you will be able to understand the concepts very nicely, then that language will be good. So that's why this is said to be that easy language to understand and to use and to implement. Clear? Now next one is mature. This is a very important point, mature and supportive Python community. Why I'm telling you? Because as I have told you, this was introduced in the year 1980, correct? So if you can count back how many years, this is like almost 30 years of collaborations, correct? 31, almost 31 years of collaboration. But in these 31 of years of collaboration, has the programming language degraded? No, it is going up, it is boosting up. That means there might be some kind of backup in it, so this backup process is very useful, very much, you can say very much important in order to boost any kind of languages, any kind of platform. It may be into the business field. If you thought about a starting of a business, you are not that much capable of like investing money, you need an investor, right? So if you're having an investor with you and you are having the good logic with you, definitely you will rise up, right? So that's what is happening with Python languages. So Python language has been backed up with Facebook, okay. It is also backed up by Amazon. It is also backed up by Google. It is also backed up with BitTorrents and all, like so lots of big companies are backing up with the Python programming. That means they are investing some sort of money, some sort of support, some sort of maintenance support, some sort of development community, which has boosted up and has given the beautiful line as mature and supportive Python community. Clear? Now moving to the third one is a very important one, because as I've already told you this, I think I have merged the second and third point. I have told you that it is already been backed up by Facebook, Amazon, then Google, right? So that means this is support from renowned corporate sponsors. So this is a very good important point to understand that how Python programming is a powerful one right now. Okay, so moving to the fourth one, this is said to be, this point is defining as that hundreds of Python libraries and frameworks. See, as I've already told you in the previous slide, that if I was giving you the example of a function, right? If I have merged that function into a smaller in a single line, that means that particular scenario has been optimized, has been put into one single frame, right? So if some or the other we got some libraries, suppose I'm talking about an example of image processing, okay, or maybe sentiment analysis. Suppose we are having a backup code of 1000 lines of code, and we are not going to write that code, we are just going to import that code into our code. Then what will be the easiest one? Easiest one will be it will be easy for the developer to code or to write the particular thing, right? So that is a very good important point, that you'll be having almost hundreds of Python libraries and frameworks. So that will be easy option for us, correct? Now these are the points that I have brought for you, which will be like a trailer for you right now. So I have brought for you like Matplotlib, SkyPy, Beautiful Soup, NumPy, Django. Okay, so these are the different libraries, different frameworks, these are different modules with the help of which you can do a lot of stuff. And you will be astonished when we will be learning, like after finishing off with all the topics, you will be like feeling, okay, finally we got some help of some modules with the help of which we are not going to write thousands of codes. We are simply going to write 25 lines of codes, that's it, correct? So now moving to the fifth point, as I've already told you, you can easily sense that yes, versatile. You can easily sense that yes, it is an efficient one. I have already discussed these points. Reliable. Why I'm saying reliable? Because some or the other we are having a knowledge of 31 years. Okay, we are now having a knowledge of like backup, very good backup. Then we are having what knowledge? We are having a knowledge of efficiency. And some or the other, if you're having efficiency, we are having an optimized code. Definitely we are having a reliable code with us. Clear? Then speed. Yes, definitely. You can easily sense this because if you're having an efficient code, if you have optimized code, if you're having a less number of codes and you're running it smoothly, executing smoothly, then you will be saying that yes, it is a speedy one. Okay. Then finally we are left out with sixth and seventh point. Sixth point says that these are the basic applications: big data, machine learning, and cloud computing. Okay, these are the major application areas where Python has boosted up like anything. Okay, and then definitely finally, before ending with this, before going into seventh point, I want to add one more thing, that this Python programming is said to be a interpreted language. Okay, like what it happens, it used to scan, it used to read line by line, and then the interpreter will give you the output. It will run the code for you. It will give the errors, whatever is required. So that means if it is scanning line by line, that means I know that it might take some time, but with that, there also you can sense it that the number of line of codes has already reduced, correct, and the interpreter can fastly access that. So that means looking into all these things, like looking into the supportive Python community, looking into the renowned corporate backup, okay, looking into the number of hundreds of Python libraries and frameworks, and looking into the platforms where they have boosted up, we can say that this is the first choice language. Clear? So this is all about your basic. I have tried to bring out certain points for you so that you will be able to understand why we are learning Python programming. Because from my point of view, three things should be very much clear to everyone. That means one is what is the subject matter, okay, then why we are studying that subject matter, and where it is being applied. Correct? If we are clear with these three scenarios, then we can be assured that yes, whatever we are doing is correct. Correct? So let us go with the next slide. Okay, so next slide, I have brought a survey for you. As I've already told you that I have brought the survey for you. The survey says that this was the survey that I have brought for based on Stack Overflow developer survey 2018. I have brought this structure. Okay, and this structure says that the Python has been like 25.1% has been the most wanted language right now compared to other languages as well. Okay, so that is a very good thing, and this survey was done in 2018. Now it has increased, this percentage has increased to almost 35%. So maximum of the companies in like in India, in abroad, they are using Python language. Okay, and like this was in like this graded this like has increased like anything in the year 2012, like we're consistently growing in popularity, and the trend was that time like it was like a like it was in a trend in 2012, and it has boosted up like anything in the year 2018. Okay, so next. Okay, next we should be aware of like the next thing that I have already told you. We have understood what is the subject matter, we have understood why we are learning that subject matter, right? Now we will learn about where this particular Python language is being used. Okay, so I have brought certain points, certain areas I have brought for you, and see before, because you are in a computer science field, you may be in a electronics field, you may be in another branch, but you are learning this because you might be into an IT industry, or you might be developing some other time, right? So you should be aware of the different branches, because there is not a single branch, only not a single branch where you will be working. You will be having multiple branches over here, and where my Python has been involved, right? So let us check what are the branches. First branch is your web and internet development. Okay, so in web and internet development, this Python language has increased because of the frameworks like Django, then Pyramid. Okay, then we'll be having some micro frameworks as well, such as Flask, then Bottle. Okay, so these are the basic frameworks with the help of which you can create web pages, you can create frameworks. Okay, then you can create some advanced content management as well. Okay, so advanced content management systems like Plone, okay, Django CMS, customer management system. So these kind of platforms will give you a good supportive environment where you can learn the web and internet development. Okay, so this is just the platforms I am telling you. We will be discussing once we are done with the concepts. Okay, now next is some of the standard library functions I have brought it for you, like some of the libraries that generally supports different kind of internet protocols, like HTML, XML is one, JSON is one. Okay, then email processing, while processing of email, this is an important topic. Okay, then FTP, internet message access protocols, then internet protocols. In that also Python libraries are useful. Okay, and also easy to use socket programming. Now if I talk about a chat messenger, okay, what we generally do, we generally chat, there is a server, there is a receiver, right? In between the chat process there is a socket programming concept. So in that socket programming concept also Python libraries will help a lot. Okay, so moving to the next slide. We'll be having the next one is the scientific and numeric. For scientific and numeric, you close your eyes, you go with one particular concept, that is known as a SciPy. Okay, this is a very useful scientific and numeric computing library or package, you can say. So what this package collects, it collects for mathematics, it collects for sciences, it collects for engineering. So a lot of packages are there under SciPy, with the help of which you can learn different concepts in mathematics, sciences and engineering. Okay, now suppose you want to explore the same scientific and numeric concept in case of data analytics, okay, and modeling also. So you can go with the help of pandas. So this is help for data analysis and modeling, the library. Okay, then suppose you want to go for some kind of editing or some kind of recording a particular working session, okay, or if you want to support some set of data visualization or visualization. Okay, or if you want to, suppose you want to go with parallel computing as well. I will discuss parallel computing, but you just understood the names of those, remember those names. Okay, so this library is very useful, IPython. Okay, this is a powerful interactive shell. Okay, and then we'll be coming across with this one. This is named as software carpentry course. Okay, this is generally teaches the basic skills for scientific computing. Okay, and like also it provides some kind of running boot camps, providing open access teaching technology material. So you can look into this particular course material, software carpentry course. You can get all different kind of courses as well, and there also they have listed the Python programming, and it has been also carried forward with the help of Python programming. Okay, so this is one more area. that I thought of like discussing with you all. Then next is your desktop GUIs. Okay, so if you want to go for desktop GUIs, one particular GUI library is there, graphical user interface library is there, that is your TK. Okay, or else we can know as a TK Inter. Okay, so these libraries will give you all different kinds of like toolkits. Okay, several platforms will be there separately. Okay, and based on which you can develop a GUI very efficiently. Okay, with the help of WX widgets. Okay, I have already mentioned over here. Kiwi for writing multi-touch applications, I think I have mentioned over here. Okay, then we are having like PyQt and PySide also. So these are different things with the help of which you can create a desktop GUI. Okay, so that is also a area where Python is being used. Okay, then this one Microsoft Foundation classes through Windows 32 extension. They are also doing the great initiative in learning desktop GUIs with the help of Python programming. Okay, you can also look into that. Then next goes on with the next slide. Let us erase this and let us move to the next slide. Next slide also I have brought two more application areas. One is your software development, for which you are learning maybe, and the next one is business applications. Okay, business applications in the sense for building ERPs, enterprise resource planning. Okay, for building any kind of e-commerce systems. Okay, where you can put your ideas, where you can put your business, where you can market the stuff that you want to do it. So that also can be developed with the help of Python libraries and frameworks. Okay, so these are the basic things that I have thought of like bringing to you. I think till now it is clear to everyone that what is the subject matter, what is known as Python programming, history about Python programming, why we are learning Python programming, because of those points that I have discussed: efficient and speed, reliable, right, scalability. Okay, optimize. So these are the different topics. Then last we have learned about where this Python programming is being applied. So I have tried to bring out with business applications, software development, web applications, internet development, socket programming, then data analytics, machine learning, big data. So these are different concepts where Python programming has involved. So it has scaled, it has bifurcated its line, and it has moved into different areas. Correct? So that means till now we are clear that if we learn Python programming, some or the other will be getting a different options. Correct? But before that, if I talk about watching any movies, what do? Generally you watch you watch a lot of trailers, right, of different movies, and then finally you point to one particular movie which you love the one, and what you loved the trailer of that particular scenario, right? So I would suggest that if you understand first the Python structure. So that for understanding that Python structure, this is the syllabus that I'm going to teach you. After understanding the Python syllabus, you will come across with different platforms. These platforms are nothing but what we have understood right now, like software development, maybe a software development, correct? Maybe a Windows desktop GUIs, correct? Maybe a web development, okay? Maybe another one, maybe software development, correct? Maybe you can say business applications, correct? And a lot of stuff. That means if you are well understood with this particular basic course, correct, that means you will be able to understand the other parts as well, correct? So that means we have to first focus with the course part. Okay, what is the syllabus all about? We will try to cover all the important points that is being required, and then you can explore all these areas in briefly, correct? So let's erase this and let's move forward. Okay, now these are the top IDEs that I have brought for you. Basically, from my point of view, I love Spider, working with Spider. Why? Because Spider has a capability of inbuilt error correction. Suppose I have a quotation, like suppose I'm writing a code, but we'll be discussing about it. Suppose I'm writing as if, okay, if suppose x is equals to 1. Clear? If x is equals to 1, then according to this Python syntax, we should have a colon over here. But some or the other we forgot that colon, and then we press enter. Automatically, Spider will take that particular link. So in that sense, a lot of stuff are also there for which I love working with Spider. Okay, later on I will let you know about this. So this is a very important tool, Spider. Idle is the basic stuff. If you want to work, like idle is nothing but if you want to work with a IDE along with a command prompt. Okay, so that means merging both the things. Okay, so IDLE is a good one for learning at initial level. Then Sublime Text 3 and Visual Studio Code, where you can Visual Studio Code is a multidisciplinary environment where you can learn where you can execute HTML files, where you can execute C# files, where you can execute C files, where you can execute Python files. Okay, where you can execute HTML files. A lot of things you can do with Visual Studio Code. Besides using Notepad, you can directly install Visual Studio Code, and then you can start with working with it. Clear? So this is all. Then Atom is a good platform where you can work for developing Python languages. Then Jupyter is a good one. If you are not having any systems right now or any software being installed in a system, you can use the web application, web browser, and with the web browser, Jupyter is like Jupyter Notebook will be accessible in the web browser with its own local host. Okay, then PyDev, Thonny, then Wing and Active Python. So these are the other platforms as well. So in this particular session, in this particular course, I will try to cover up, I will try to explore you with PyCharm, Spider, IDLE, Visual Studio Code if possible, then and Jupyter Notebook. Yes. So these are the 5 different platforms I will be showing, like unit wise if possible. Okay, so I will let you know about the working of this working environment of Python in these platforms as well. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, now some of the comparisons we brought for you, like looking into Python with PHP, Python with Java, Python with C#, because these are somewhat or the other we are having a competitors. Okay, so if you look into Python and PHP, popularity wise it's very popular, both are popular. Okay, so I can give a tick mark over here. So frameworks wise, a lot of frameworks, this is a very important point for which Python overcomes PHP. Okay, so now next is learning, easy to learn, and this is harder to learn. You can also try working with PHP, and then or else if you have already learned PHP and you are learning Python, then you can find the differences, you can find the similarities. Okay, so these are the basic points I thought of, like comparing Python with PHP. That means these are the like important points to be discussed. Okay, now next move with like Java. If you look into Java, learning is easy to learn already. I have already told you that this is the best language to learn. We are also having our language and all, but leave for the timing. Okay, and harder to learn. Okay, then cross-platform apps, like if you're having like this open source you are having, and along with the closed environment, then you are trying to mix up with the platform apps, then I would suggest Java will be the best option. They have also covered up as Java is the best language. But if you look at compatibility with the operating system, both are good in that. And also network based applications wise, overall Java is the good option overall. But yes, Python also provides in socket programming, in internet applications and all, but overall if I take network based application, Java is the best option. Okay, now you just keep on remembering what are the points I have tried to discuss, or this is the best option that you can pause the video and you can later on you can see it. If we talk about Python and C#, this is like already I've told you, the simplicity is very good. Because of simplicity and easy to learn, like developer who is not willing to do developing, they can also, after learning, they can also get some idea about it and they will be indulged into that. Then next, script writing is also good. It can be with any environment. Okay, because it's an open source, and this is only with the IDE platform, integrated development environment. Then libraries wise, lot of libraries, few libraries, correct. And only in this performance wise, if you check it out, this is high in comparison to Python. Right now, if you check it out, we can find out some sort of difficulties in Python in comparison to C#, if we talk about the performance wise. Okay, but because of easy to access in any kind of environment, because of easy to write, because of easy to learn, because of importing a lot of modules and libraries and functions, this has become the best option for in comparison to other languages. Clear? So I think till now I am able to teach you like what are the important points to be understood and how we can compare with the other languages as well. Correct? Next, moving to the next slide. moving to the, now we will be like we are done with the basic introduction part. Now we will check it out some of the basic syntax. Okay, this is what the basic syntax is all about. Okay, the basic syntax is all about. So actually in using in some other interpreter, you no need to write the brackets, but brackets is required, so I am writing right now. Okay, so this is required, so you will be getting the option as hello Python. Okay, you have to use only print and then semicolon, and then you have to write the code. Okay, so this will give you the outputted print line. Clear? Now moving into the next one, I will let you know. I will take an example and I will let you know. We will take in Java first, and then we will look into the Python code. Okay, so what happens? I have tried to create a string, and I have tried to create a class of that. Okay, so basically you are I'm assuming that you are not aware of class right now, but I am trying to explain this simple code, okay, which is written in Java, and I will try to explain that in Python as well. Okay, so what I've did, class is, I have created a class named as my first date. Right now I am assuming that you doesn't know about class. Okay, so my first date is just like a you can say a particular package right now. Okay, a class, and this class is having a first name as Bobby. Okay, clear? First name is Bobby, and what I am trying to do is that I am trying to merge this. Okay, and I am trying to merge this, and I am trying to call this particular scenario. Right, I will explain to you. So these are the some of the particular keywords I am not concerning right now. So first of all, before declaring anything, I have to define as private string first name. Okay, and then I am defining the name Bobby. Okay, then I am calling a particular function name as say hello. Okay, and this as I have defined as access specifier as public. That means publicly it can be accessed right now. Okay, and in this method I have called what? I have just printed this hello plus first name, and this first name, where I got it, this first name is accessible from this particular scenario. Got it? Is this clear? So that means I have taken a first name, already I have initialized, and initialization concept, you look into this. I have given a private, that is a string, and that is the first name is the variable name that I have given it. Clear? And in that variable name I have given this particular name as Bobby. Clear? So what I am doing is that I am trying to take a function over there, and I am created a function say hello, and under this function I am printing simply hello plus first name. That means execution will be, the result will be what? Hello, and first name I don't know, first name is a variable. In that variable what I have stored? Bobby. So that means hello Bobby should be executed. So this is my simple program, and look at the code structure. First I have created the class, under the class I have defined a name. Okay, and in that name, in that variable I have defined the default name like Bobby. Okay, whatever you want to give it, and then I have defined a method under that particular class, say hello, and there I have mentioned this. And finally after doing this, I am calling the function by creating an object. Okay, this is actually the syntax of creating an object in Java, and then this is the concept of calling the particular function of that particular class. Create. Now you need to like look into the syntaxes right now. Okay, only look into the syntax and understood the concept. In this Java program, what I am doing, I am creating a class. Under that I am writing this. Okay, I'm creating a default value as Bobby, and under that I am creating a method known as say hello, and in this method I have printed simply hello plus first name. First name is the variable. Clear? After that I am just creating an object. With the help of that object I am calling the method. This is the structure. Okay, now I am removing this. Okay, and I am going to the Python code. Now look into the Python code. I have to definitely I have to create a class. Right now we are working with class, so I have created class, no private, no public, nothing. Got it? Class my first date. I have created my first created. Now under that I have to initialize a particular default parameter. These things you will be able to learn once we will be learning classes and all. Okay, so I have to create a special variable, special method known as underscore init underscore. This I will let you know, but look into this. I have created the class name. Under that I have defined this Bobby. Clear? Then I have defined the function. For defining a particular function, we have to use the keyword known as def. So def say hello. Sorry, this I haven't given any kind of underscore. You can give underscore also, because we have to learn few things as well, identifiers and all. Okay, so I have defined a particular function, and under that function the same code I have written. Okay, and this is the concept of calling the creating the object. Okay, and this object, okay, my class instance dot say hello will directly call the particular line, and this line will print as what? Hello Bobby. So if you look into both the codes, first of all, access specifier is gone. Creating the object is very easy. No need to create dot new dot something like that. Okay, then this object dot function. That's it. So that means optimization of the code is being displayed over here. I have tried to take a complicated one. I haven't taken a simple code right now. I'm not taking a complicated one, but yes, at the beginner level it will be a complicated one for you. But you try to understand that a simple thing I have tried to do. I have tried to create a class. In that class I have already defined a default name as Bobby. Clear? And I have created a function. Okay, I have created a function, and in this function I have defined a particular line to be printed. Okay, and after that, after this function, what I did, I have created an object, and with the help of object I am trying to call this function. So that means this is the flow of the program. And look into Java and look into Python. The code is what? Okay, so this is the basic concept about, this is the initial concept about the basic syntax used in Python programming. Yes, we will be learning all the concepts one by one, and we will be looking into the topics one by one, and also we will try to check it out every topic syntax and every topic examples. Then it will be easy for you to access. Okay, and this is all about the topics that I have thought of like bringing to you all. Okay, now this is the second part that I am going to deal with you all. Okay, moving into the second part. Okay, this is the second part that I am going to deal with you all. Okay, first part we have understood the basic things. Second part we'll be looking into Python identifiers, Python keywords, Python variables, standard data types, lines and indentations, comments in Python. Clear? So we will now look into these particular topics one by one, and with clear identifications of all the things in the next class. Okay, so hope I think in the first class it is clear to everyone that what is the introduction to Python programming and why we are learning Python programming, and I think you have tried to understand the complexities or the difference between the two codes that I have written. Okay, now we will start off with the codes one by one, but before that you should understand what is identifier, what is keywords, what is variables, what is standard data types, indentations kya hai, what is the meaning of lines, what is the meaning of comments in Python. All these things we should be clear. Then we will move on to the coding part. Clear? So hope this concept we will look into the second lecture. So thank you for watching.